Hello and welcome to Friday Live. Good afternoon from my end. How are you doing? Welcome to Friday Live. Let me know if you are joining me live or if you are catching a replay, and we'll jump right into it. So, have you ever felt like your teenager is constantly glued to their phone? And then no matter what you say, no matter what you do, it is impossible, like practically impossible to get them to look up from their phone, to look away from their phone. Or maybe you've caught yourself as an adult mindlessly scrolling instead of whatever else you could be doing, like connecting with your family, doing something meaningful with your time, but you are constantly and mindlessly scrolling on your phone. If that is you, or if that describes your teenager, you are welcome to today's live video because we are going to be dealing with smartphone addiction. I'm going to be talking to you about the reasons behind smartphone addiction. I'm going to be telling you why your teenager is hooked. And then we're going to discuss practical steps to help your family regain balance, regain focus, how you can make small changes that lead to meaningful results. Okay, that's what today's live video is about. So take some time and invite someone, let them know that we are live. Share the link with a parent or even a teenager that needs to learn something about how to deal with smartphone addiction. If you ever feel like your phone is taking more time than it should from you, then jump in on this conversation, invite someone. I'm going to do right the same thing here. Jump in and invite someone, let them know that we are here, we are live, and we are getting into the chat for today. Drop me a comment if you're here. Let me know that you are joining me. And if you do have a question somewhere along the conversation, also feel free to share. So smartphones, we all have it. Whatever brand, whatever make that you use, they are powerful devices. But the point is that they should not be in control of your life. Most importantly, they should not be in control of your relationships. So by the end of this live session, I'm hoping we're not going to take a lot of time. At the end of today's session, you will be able to have in your kit actionable strategies to start transforming the relationship with your teenager, the relationship between your family and technology. Whatever relationship exists between you and technology ought to be an empowering relationship that helps you to thrive. And so we're going to be looking at some of the strategies. Some of them I shared in my book, Overcoming Smartphone Addiction. And but of course, a lot more detail and steps and guides on how to do that. But in this in this live video, I'm going to be talking um, across board on some things that you can do, some things that you can do to help yourself, help your teenager, and like I said, help your family reframe the relationship you have with technology. First, it's important to understand what this is about. It's important to understand what smartphone addiction is entirely about, how it works, and what it means, first of all. I bumped into a study and I was discussing more details about it in the book. The study from Common Sense Media, I believe, that study says that the average teenager spends more than 7 hours. I think the actual statistics says 7 hours, 22 minutes, thereabout. But more than 7 hours every day on their phone. Hear this, 7 hours every day on the phone just on entertainment, not on all the other things that we do with the phone. 7 hours every day just on entertainment. If you do the math, that is more than 2,500 hours in the year. what else could you or your teenager be doing with that amount of time? And make no mistakes about it. It's not just about teens. You know, a lot of adults often spend hours scrolling too. And the question is why? Why? Now, the science behind smartphone addiction is first based on the fact that smartphones are designed as hooks. Everything in your phone is designed to hook you. Every notification or every like from your social media, any of the social media where you are on, every notification, all the likes, all the comments, all of those things trigger something in your brain, trigger something in the brain of a young person. And the name of that chemical is dopamine. Dopamine is linked to pleasure and is linked to addiction. So over time, the cycle of notification, bings, pings, and all of those sounds on your phone creates a cycle of you constantly having to check your phone, you constantly having to scroll on something because your brain continuously needs to refill on that feel good thing that the phone releases into your mind. So how can you take advantage of it? First of all, like I said, I'm trying to help you understand what's going on. In the book dealing with smartphone addiction, I explained that the issue isn't the phone itself, because like I said, the phone is a tool. The question here is how we have been trained to use the phone, how we have been trained to use the phone, how we learn to use the phone. Okay, I don't want to get into some social issues with phone, but if I digress for a few seconds, you realize that smartphones, first of all, some of them are status symbols instead of using them as tools for productivity, tools for enhancing your efficiency at work. Sometimes they become ego symbols and things to use to hype ourselves. But that's by the way. Awareness is the first step of taking back control. Awareness is the first step of taking back control. So in that manual dealing with smartphone addiction, I provided guides for spotting the signs of addiction and creating a healthy balance both for teenagers and adults in the family, and how you can use that and other strategies provided to effectively master the use of smartphones, the use of devices. And like I was describing also, I mentioned that this particularly applies to smartphone addiction, but then the same lessons apply to other forms of digital addiction, because digital addiction goes beyond smartphone. Devices, video games, television, and all whatnot are all lumped together in that mix. All lumped together in that mix. So I want to share with you actionable steps that you can take that apply to both your teen as an individual and, like I said, the entire family. But before I share the steps, let's talk about why your teenager is addicted in the first place. Let's talk about why your teenager is addicted in the first place. The most important and biggest reason for your teenager getting hooked to smartphones, getting hooked to screens and devices is because at the level of development where an adolescent is, the most active part of the brain is the emotional brain, is the affective part of the brain, the part that seeks attention, the part that seeks emotional reward. And so that uh, naturally predisposes your teenager to be hooked by whatever fills that need. Okay. Another reason will be what I explained in introduction is the dopamine dependency, the fact that social media platforms are designed to give instant gratification. Social media platforms are designed to provide instant gratification in the form of likes, in the form of comments, in the form of who shared your post, in the form of who viewed your reels, in the form of who Snapchats you, and all manner of things. The idea is to provide instant gratification, and that gratification triggers the dopamine hit, and it makes your teenager to continue to crave and crave the same experience over and over again. And that's how they get hooked. So that dependency, the training against it is a training on delayed gratification. I share more about this in the book. The training on delayed gratification, how to postpone and put off that sense of urgency in you need to pick up your phone, you need to check what's going on, you need to check who viewed the last thing you posted, you need to check who liked, who commented, and all of those kind of things. The third reason is what is popularly known as FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO, fear of missing out. This is peer pressure, right? Teenagers feel the pressure to constantly stay connected, up to date with what their friends are doing. And if they feel like they are missing out on anything, they feel like they are left behind. They feel like they are alone. Again, make no mistakes about it. This is not just about teenagers. I'm discussing teens because they are more predisposed to these issues that we are discussing. But you as an adult can have FOMO. You can have fear of missing out. So you want to know what's trending. What did they? There's even a news. There's even a news. I think a news channel that does a particular segment of their program called "What is Trending." So there's a need for us to constantly know what is trending. We want to know what happened in the latest elections. We want to know what happened here and what happened there. Entertainment news, gossip news, and all whatnot. So teenagers are more predisposed to that pressure to stay connected, pressure to stay up to date with their friends. And so you feel like something is happening because you are not actively engaged online. That is a very strong reason for why your teenager is hooked on their phone. Reason number four is the need to escape reality. Again, because of instant gratification and all the other things attached to it, smartphones provide very easy, very easy escape from stress, very easy escape from boredom, very easy escape from difficult emotions. So whenever a teenager finds that they are in a stressful situation, they're in a place where they need to have a conversation, where they need to do something serious, social media and the phone provides easy escape from that. In my book, Dealing with Smartphone Addiction, I was talking about why you can get into an environment where you should be making social connection, you should be building relationships that empower you, but rather than doing that, you resort to your phone. Have you ever walked into maybe a waiting lounge or a classroom without a teacher, or any of those places where relationships can strike out, where conversations, now it doesn't even have to be strange people in the room. You can walk into a space where everybody there are people who are familiar. You can walk into your family, your sitting room, and everybody in the sitting room is practically facing their phones, and that is a problem because these gadgets provide that escape from, oh, we need to talk, we need to have a serious conversation, or maybe there's a difficult emotion, there is the quote and unquote elephant in the room conversation that we need to address. But no, we will rather escape to our phones and hang out in a virtual world that is not real, rather than focusing on real issues, real conversations, real relationships. And so this creates a dependency, a reliance on the screen. The screen becomes your coping mechanism. The screen becomes your teenager's coping mechanism for when they have difficult issues in their lives. Enter boredom. Boredom is also one of the difficult issues that young people are not able to deal with. So I've had increasing rates of mental health issues, increasing rates of depression because young people are not trained, are not equipped for how to manage unfamiliar, difficult emotions. Like I said, I'll get to the solution, but let's deal with the reasons. Because if you know where this is coming from, then you can understand why the solutions are necessary and how to apply those solutions. Constant notifications is number five. I mentioned this before. Constant notification. All the apps in your phone, when you install them, they ask you for one permission, amongst other things. Some have more permissions that they require than the others, but they all ask you for one permission. Permission to send you notifications. Every app on your phone is designed like that. Permission to send you notification. Some need permission to access your galleries and all of those kind of things, whether video or picture gallery. Some need permission to access your contact, but every app on your phone will ask you for permission to send you notification. And so they bombard teenagers with this notification. The notifications are designed to bring you back. That is the essence. The notifications are not designed to inform you. They're not designed to keep you aware. They're not designed to make you abreast of what is happening. The notifications are primarily designed to bring you back to the app. So if you notice some of your social media apps, if you leave them for a while and there is no activity going on your social media account, the app begins to generate useless and irrelevant notifications to send to you. They start telling you who commented on another two persons that you have no business with, but one of them clicked on something. They send that notification to you when there is nothing else going on your account for them to share with you. So the notifications are not primarily designed to give you the most important information or the most important content. The notifications are designed for one primary purpose, to keep you on the app. In the academy, the Teen Success Academy, sometime earlier in the year, I got all my teenagers to review a document. There's a documentary titled The Social Dilemma. The Social Dilemma, I think they're in the part 3 of that documentary now, or part 2. I'm not so sure. But I got teenagers and parents to review. It's a very long documentary. Every parent, every teenager to sit down and watch that documentary. And you will see the psychology, the research that goes behind building every single app on your device. And if you understand what is put behind the work that is put behind creating all of those things, then you will see that they were not designed for your own good. But you can learn how to use these things as tools to improve your life, improve your productivity and performance in every space. Someone is asking how we can get the book on addiction. The 3-in-1 bundle, we're still in the pre-order phase, so you can join the pre-order. The next one with the pre-order will be out, so you can join the pre-order and get the books. Let me see, the link should be scrolling on your screen, but just give me a moment. And then if any of my team members are watching, please help me drop the link to the wait list or the pre-order group so that um, people can join. But the link is scrolling on your screen now. If you can copy that link, but someone will reply you with the link in the comment section right about now. Okay, so we'll go ahead. I was just giving you reasons and why your teenager is addicted. Why your teenager is addicted. What number are we on? Number 5, number 4, whatever. The other reason why your teenager is addicted to the phone is because of lack of boundaries. A lack of boundaries. Without clear guidelines, without clear boundaries, your teenagers are very much not likely to realize how much time they are spending on their phones. That's where you come in as a parent. That's where you come in as a parent, because you have a responsibility to help your teenager. You have a responsibility to put in these guidelines and some form of boundaries around the use of social media. It can limit creativity, it can limit performance, and all manner of issues. Uh, we have there are all manner of issues because I was sharing in the book how every addiction feeds off of the same roots. Every addiction feeds off of the same roots, neurologically, psychologically, even spiritually. Every addiction shares similar roots. Okay. And I was talking about how one addiction can lead to another kind of addiction. And I'll give you an example. Practical things that we deal with, when we intervene with teenagers and young people around the world. Smartphone addiction can lead to porn addiction. Smartphone addiction can lead to body image issues. Smartphone addiction, of course, is the primary reason for identity crisis in young people. Smartphone addiction can lead to all. So they're all links like this. So one can lead to the other. So if you're going to deal with this, you have to be strategic about it, intentional about it, and begin to help your teenager understand the issues, understand the challenges, and then get a win-win. Now I'm talking to if you're listening to me for the first time, okay, I'm talking to you if you already have your teenagers using smartphones. Or the worst thing you can do to a young person is to give them a smartphone unprepared. It's like handing the key to your Range Rover car to your child. You have set that child up for a crash, but we don't realize it because what is it now? It's just one iPhone here and one Android phone there, and you can just hand it to them. It's a birthday gift. I made a group of teenagers sometime, and the boy was just turning 12 years old, and the parents went and bought one very fancy, powerful phone for a 12-year-old. And I told the parents, you have just created your own problem. I give you maximum of 1 year. You have created your own problem. So, but you can begin to train your teenager with the tools that we have provided so that before they get into the world of smartphones, they are to an extent psychologically prepared to deal with the issues that come with it. Because, like I said, these issues I'm discussing have no restrictions, they're not restricted to teenagers. I've had a parent recently send me a DM and told me how she was struggling with phone addiction as a parent. She reached out to me because now it's affecting her children and she cannot speak to the young people because she is a victim of the same issue that she's trying to correct them about. And we helped her create a very simple solution that we helped her to create. The simple solution is you have to drop the phone. You have to drop the phone. But walking you through all of the processes is a more lasting solution to help you out of the problem of smartphone addiction. So I'll share how many, maybe about 4 or 5 actionable steps that you can take for your child and as a family to help everyone at home you stay free or overcome smartphone addiction. Start small, start simple. But number one is create phone-free zones. Create spaces in your house where uh, digital devices are not allowed. Declare specific areas. Typical example, dinner table. Typical example, your bedrooms. If you have a library in your house, that's an example. So dedicate spaces in your house where phones are not allowed. It's a simple change, as small as it is, that can drastically improve communication at home, conversation with your children, conversation with your spouse, and for teenagers, also improve their sleep quality. Their sleep quality. If a child is watching the screen of a phone before they fall asleep, I can guarantee they're not getting enough sleep, they're not getting enough rest, and it's affecting their performance in the daytime and the academics. So create spaces that are phone-free zones at home. Number two, find activities to replace because in dealing with addiction you cannot remove something and create a vacuum. Find activities that are meaningful to replace the phone scrolling times. Okay, encourage your teenager to explore hobbies, things that engage their creativity. Now this particular aspect is the reason I wrote a second book on how to deal with boredom. The book is titled The Gift of Boredom. So if you are getting the 3-in-1 book bundle, you're going to get overcoming smartphone addiction, you're going to get the gift of boredom, and then you're going to get teenagers of the Bible. I'll tell you why the third one or where it comes in as we get along in a conversation. But replace scrolling with meaningful activities. Dealing with boredom, in that book, I created a series of activities that can help your teenager manage their alone time, manage their downtime, and things that they can do. One of it is for those who joined the flash sale. We're doing a 30-day creativity challenge for teenagers, and it's starting on the 1st of December. For 30 days, I'm working teenagers on how to improve their creativity away from screens and using their downtime. And it's about the beginning of the holidays, so we're going to use that whole time to learn how to maximize downtime, how to maximize boredom, how to maximize quiet time. All right. So that's part of why I created that book. There's a lot of workbooks, about 6 workbooks that are coming together with the bundle. So if you missed out on it, you probably have to go buy the workbooks, okay, so that you can join the challenge. The challenge itself is coming up in December. More details on that will come later. But I was sharing the second actionable step that you can take for your family, for your teenager, and for everyone at home to maximize or to overcome smartphone addiction as a challenge. Number 3, you need to create time, take break from social media. Yeah, take a break from social media. Set aside one day in a week, one weekend where you have what I call in the book, I call it digital detoxification. What you will when you will stay away from social media, when you will stay away from some kind of digital fast is the other word that I use. So sometimes shut down subscriptions on cable TV. Shut it down. It's not necessary. You don't need. What are those bundles that they give people on your cable? 75 TV stations to watch in 1 month. Do you have enough time? Shut it down. Shut down Netflix. Shut down Facebook. Shut down Instagram. Shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. Take a break from the media. Take a break from the media. It will help your mind. It will help your emotions. It will help your focus. It will help your attention. It will help your creativity. Shut down, shut down. Take a break. And then use that space to create shared experiences for reconnecting with members of your house, reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with family, and all of those kinds of activities. Build relationships, healthy interactions, healthy relationships. That is one thing you can do. Number 4, as a parent, please lead by example. Lead by example. I shared the story about somebody who reached out to me and said, this is a challenge. Monkey see, monkey do. Young people learn more from what they see than from what they hear you say. So if you are glued to your phone and you're saying everybody else should drop the phone, na lie. Model healthy phone habits for your teenager by constantly being present in conversations with them, constantly encouraging conversations at home, encouraging conversation. So when you are also in the presence of other people, how do you coordinate yourself? What are your phone habits in your social circles? Are you the kind of person that hangs out with people and you're gisting with somebody, having a meaningful conversation with somebody, but you're always with your phone and all those kind of things? So if you put those in the book, I shared a lot more strategies, but my time is running out. I talk to teenagers and I'm telling them how that boredom is not a waste of time. Staying quiet, staying calm is not a waste of time. It's an opportunity for creativity. It's an opportunity for self-reflection. It's an opportunity for spiritual development. It's an opportunity to learn problem solving. But in the world where we live in, and in the world where your child is growing up, we are so quick to feel every empty moment. We're so quick to feel every quiet time. Every time when we're not doing anything, you feel it with the next available screen. So, like I said, I wrote The Gift of Boredom to help young people cultivate their creativity. I shared practical exercises to help teenagers embrace downtime. Things like journaling, and like I mentioned, the creativity challenge. I want to move on from there. but encourage your teenager to embrace that time by limiting their entertainment options. Give them space to think, to dream, and to create. I was speaking at the Intentional Parent Summit in Lagos, and I was talking about the menace that entertainment has become among young people, especially in this part of the world. We are so excited about entertainment. There's always one new kind of entertainment trending. There's always one new skit. There's always one new gossip. There's always one new song, valuable or not, that is distracting us from being creative people, distracting us from making meaningful contributions to our world, other than just dancing and talking all over social media. So, where does the third book come in? I'm going to share that in a moment. I mentioned three books. The first one is um, Overcoming Smartphone Addiction. The second one is The Gift of Boredom. The third one is Teenagers of the Bible. So, what is the role of faith and spirituality in the digital world? Because where your teenager is growing up is that digital world. It is full of distraction. Question is, how can we teach our young people, our teenagers, to focus on what truly matters, to focus on their sense of identity? In our last Friday Life class, I was talking about keys to raising purpose driven children. And I talked about how to tie purpose to the conversation around faith and values. And so there are stories in scripture that provide lessons, timeless lessons about discipline, about focus, about purpose. And in that book, I highlight some of those stories. How that a young person can learn to hear from God as a skill, despite the noise that is in their world, despite the noise that is around them. Teenagers today need the ability to, connect with their inward person more than ever before, more than ever before. So that book provides practical ways to integrate conversations about faith and spirituality into your teenager's daily life. And it will help them navigate, the different challenges that they face as young people growing up. Help them build healthy spiritual foundations to be able to challenge the world that they live in. So if your teenager is dealing with smartphone addiction, there is a step-by-step guide for them to create healthier habits and for you to create that habit and integrate it into your whole family. Okay, the gift of boredom is where I created a toolkit, a creative toolkit to help your teenager turn their downtime into self-discovery, into personal growth. Then the Teenagers of the Bible is a spiritual resource, for guiding your teenagers through challenges of life using timeless biblical lessons. And so each of those resources address a unique aspect of the modern life that your teenager is growing up in: distraction, creativity, faith, identity, spirituality, and together all of those resources create a comprehensive toolkit for overcoming not just smartphone addiction, but building a meaningful life and a connected life, and an intentionally connected life, connected in real life, not connected virtually on social media and on superficial things. So if you are ready to help your family, if you are ready to help your teenager break free from smartphone addiction, rediscover what truly matters to them, you should go get my 3-in-1 bundle. Okay. The books are your go-to. This weekend and next weekend is the last time you're going to see it available for pre-order, because they are ready to be launched and they are designed to be very easy to follow for your team. They're designed to be practical. They're designed to be very impactful. And I think the links have been shared. Thank you very much, Joshua. Thank you for sharing the links. So the links are in the comment section if you want to get access to it. But that's the conversation I wanted to share with you today about dealing with smartphone addiction. I'm going to come to you again very soon on another live video. But as we close, imagine a life where your teenager is connected more deeply with themselves, with you as a parent, with their siblings, and with their friends in healthy relationship, where their creativity thrives, where their faith serves as a guiding light for their lives. Imagine that for your teenager. and take a stand against smartphone addiction for your teenager. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, like I said, I'll see you again shortly. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you, thank you. I see a lot of persons on the screen. That's why I didn't look at the numbers, but thank you. And God bless you. I'll see you around. Until then, keep